Today we're going to build on the last coffee clip where we looked at how we could use interesting frames in Canva to get our design work, our artwork to look that little bit more professional and sharper. This time we're going to take it a step further and we're going to have a look at how we can take a photo, get rid of the background and then take it out of the frame, as shown in this very rough example here. Okay, so today's challenge is to take a photo, a headshot that's taken normally, doesn't matter whether it's in portrait or landscape format, and we're going to remove the background as our first step. Then we're going to create a new background in a frame in this example here. We'll also try to see if we can get our photo to work with its current background and then using two versions of the photo overlapping to create that cutout effect. So without any further ado, let's pop over to Canva and see how we can do this.
Okay, so we're back in Canva, and if you recognize this particular design, you will know that this is what we actually worked on in our last tutorial, and I will try and share a link in the description for you if you want to go through the process of how we can add a photo to this type of frame. What we're going to do today is we're going to duplicate this particular design, and we're going to have another go at this area. So for now, I'm just going to delete that photo and delete the frame. Another option, if I just undo it a couple of steps, is if I want to keep the photo, I should be able to right click and detach image. So that brings it back out of the frame and we're ready to put that into another image. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go to elements again, and this time I'm going to choose a frame, which is a circular frame. Okay. So option one could be to, just going to bring this to the front. Hide that frame for now. Just going to move it off the way. We're going to come back to that in a minute. And here I'm going to crop the image in because I don't want any of that detail on the left in shot. And now I'm going to go to edit image and go to the background remover. We can see a little crown next to it. That means you need a paid Canva Pro account to be able to use this tool. But you may be able to find other websites which will have a background remover tool built into them that are free to use. So if you're not in a position where you're ready to pay for a Canva account just yet, then that's another option for you. But we can see here that that's done a great job of just removing the background behind the image. A couple of reasons for that. One, if we look at this example, the background's fairly consistent and we can see our headshot, our lady here, being really easy to pick out from the background. That makes it much easier for the AI background remover tool to pick out that. And we can see it's even picked out the detail here in the hair. So we've got some hair strands there, which makes it look more natural than if you were to try and do the same effect, say, on Adobe Photoshop. Okay. So now we've gone through step one. What I could then look for is get rid of the search, and I'm going to put stone texture. And instead of essentially putting our lady on the same backdrop as she was before, we could look at creating a new background. So we want something which has got quite a small detail, so that may not work there, but an option we've got is we could go through and edit the background to make it slightly more simplistic. So if, for example, we'd go with the duotone effect, and then maybe tweak the colors accordingly. So we could go lighter for the light colors, and that could make for quite an interesting background texture. I can then go back to edit our image, and then we can use the adjustments on the new duotone layer. So for example, I could bump up the saturation a little bit if I wanted to. Oop. Not sure what's quite happened there. Usually the duotone effect stays put. So it's either that we've encountered a little bug, which happens from time to time, or it's removed that effect. We'll try again. So if we click on that add new color, we can then manually adjust that background color. And we can also change the intensity of that background color as well. So as the duotone isn't the main feature for this particular tutorial, I think I'm going to leave that background as is in this example. I don't want to tempt fate and cause more problems than needed. And then we can bring to the front and move this background to the bottom, as shown here. What we can now do is enlarge this lady here. Okay, so what's happening here is it's thinking I'm wanting to put her into the frame. So what we can do now is we can lock this effect. And then basically that means we can have 0 to be positioned nicely there. We're not seeing enough of the background at the moment, so I can just move that away, then jump back in, unlock that layer, enlarge it just a bit more, lock it again, meaning we're not having this issue where they're trying to force her picture into the frame. And now we've got a really nice, interesting balance and kind of a way of getting those natural materials across in both the frame, the background, and the headshot then jumping out of the frame. So we could then decide to reduce the size of the logo. That's really up to you. I think I'm going to stick about there and then have it so we're making full use of that layer. Because I'm quite pedantic with this as a designer, I'm just going to lock that layer. I'm going to probably want just to have that line consistent there. Consistency is key, so we're trying to get that consistent between the text and the logo on the left-hand side. So sometimes I will, like Canva has guides, but sometimes it snaps to frustrating areas. So let's just zoom in a little bit, make it easier on ourselves. And now we can select that shape. And we can use the shape as our template to make sure that our spacing is nice and consistent. For the sake of an extra 30 seconds or so, extra minute, I think it's always well worth going through this. And then we can use the arrow keys just to nudge our text across. And as we can see, actually, the welcome text isn't perfectly aligned either. So there we go. So now we can see everything's lined up to the left. What I tend to do then is take that shape, rotate it around 90 degrees. So we can see that tooltip appears there showing. There we go. And now we can do the same from the top. It's not too bad. There we go. So now we know we've got consistent spacing here, and the spacing is the difference between taking a design and making it look thoroughly professional. So we've got a little bit more space here to work with, so I might select both of these layers and just bring the text to get as much impact with it as possible. And now we have a very different design. So if we look at the first example, we've got this particular frame. This one, we've got an extra layer with the texture and then the cutout effect. One thing I might want to do as a final step, remember I need to unlock this layer, and I might be able to add a shadow effect. So if I go for a drop shadow on the photo, we can see it's quite pronounced there, and that's too much. But if we go through to the settings here, we can choose a deep purple color, That's too strong there. We've seen more of a glow or a highlight. So if we take it right down into these purple tones, we can see again it's a little bit too strong. So we can increase the blur, and that diffuses it. So if we take the blur out, we can see that the drop shadow is much stronger. We add a bit of blur and it just gives it a little bit more depth. And also we can increase the offset as well, so we don't have quite as pronounced a drop shadow effect. I think it's probably still a little bit too light, so I can go back into the color options and just make it darker. Again. Now you may be looking at this and saying that's so subtle, what's the point? For me, it's those little touches when you combine them together that makes all the difference. So, I'm not sure quite what happened there. Canva's decided to mess around today. So I'm just going to add that drop shadow back in. So, get the option to show you one more time how it works. I'm just going to fly through this very quickly. It's really important to get that purple tone in there, just so the balance works with the image. Okay, so for some reason the drop shadow is not working today. So I think we're just going to have to leave it there. Trust me to pick a Canva tutorial on the day that Canva's been particularly buggy. So the drop shadow effect generally works, hasn't worked today. But this will just give you an idea of how you can create quite compelling graphics relatively easily using two of my favorite effects on Canva. That is the Duotone effect to change the color of backgrounds, and also the background remover. And of course frames, so that will be 3 of my favorite features. Did I say I love Canva? Stay tuned for the next tutorial. Cheers.